Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Donkey Kong Country 2. Just finished off with the gloomy, spooky area, and now we're in the end game. This is the last world, so it's real close, getting real exciting. How are you, Gok?
I am not very excited right now because I have a quite hearty dinner and a beer, so I am actually quite slow at the moment.
Yeah, I know how that is. I got a little tired myself, so oops. Was late to,
You got a little tired,
yeah.
you bastard. I think you're lying to me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm, cheating on you with a woman right now.
No,
Anyway.
you would be cheating of me if you were doing movie night with someone else. Are you doing movie night with her?
Well, they call it Netflix
Who-
and chill
who
for a
is that?
reason.
Who is that? Who is that skank? Is she prettier than me?
But anyway, so, pretty exciting time for me because, technically speaking, I should be studying for my exams, but, I'm not.
But I am irresponsible.
Yeah, don't worry, it's, Java, and I have no idea how Java works, so I've kind of given up. No, it's, I'm just not a fan of Java because it's a programming language. You need to do a whole lot of, like, work to try and get compiled. It's annoying. It's not like most other programming languages where you can just boot up a program and then start writing.
What is the general Java-related humor among the programming community?
It's, let's see. Basically, the thing about it that makes it that, it's technically good is that it's it's object-oriented programming, but I've come to learn that object-oriented programming is kind of overblown and not all it's cracked up to be. And for whatever reason, all the assignments that we've been given have been very dry and boring and very long to get done. And a lot of them are all about, like, the idea of inheritance and shit like that, which, long story short with that, how it works is, instead of putting everything into one file, you then make two different files and have the first file call the other file instead. And the benefit of it is that it saves you roughly like 3 lines of code. And that's basically my understanding of why object-oriented programming is good.
You know what gave me flashbacks of?
What?
There was a time in high school that we were studying like pre-Columbian America, and it was insufferable because every time there was an activity, the teacher decided to ask, what were the modern contributions of the Aztecs? None. That was I wanted to ask to like the only thing I could think of was chocolate.
Well, to be fair, I heard that their hot chocolate was pretty banger.
It's pretty spiced too. Yeah, but like I was so annoyed by this. And like really, you have to ask this crap every time. we all know that nothing they did is outside of chocolate is of any significance to us nowadays, unless you want to bring back human sacrifices.
Hey man, those human sacrifices stopped. They appeased the gods, so that way we were able to see a sunrise the next day.
Yeah. Nowadays, we stopped sacrificing people to appease the gods, and we have global warming.
Exactly.
Maybe we should start sacrificing people. The problem is like, okay, who are we gonna sacrifice?
Obviously, the people who lose at soccer. Duh.
We know who we should sacrifice. Movie producers movie writers whose script fails every time. Like if you had if you had 3 movies or works in your belt and they all fail, like either critically, like audience score or the box office, you get to be a sacrifice.
I don't know, man. I heard that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was really good. It was just that the snobbish types who don't appreciate art don't like it.
Yeah, the snobbish type that appreciate non-retardation.
Look, the correct way to write anything is to do it when you're halfway through production, okay?
Yeah. You gotta know whose actor is the prettiest, so you can put them on the screen.
Yeah, for those who don't know,
which actually doesn't explain Danny DeVito, but
yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna say, for those who don't know, it's been confirmed that the Doctor Strange 2, the guy who wrote it, literally wrote it as they were filming it. So like they were in like Act 2, and it's like, all right, we just finished filming Act 2. I have to write Act 3 now. And that's one of the reasons why it's such a mess of a fucking movie.
That's not surprising. That's not surprising. Is it like that movie came right after WandaVision? And
yeah.
Oh my god. The fact that there is like corporal punishment should be made for the people who wrote those two. Grab them, the people who wrote either WandaVision or Doctor Strange 2, and just have them flogged in the public square, because society needs to have their catharsis for the crime that was inflicted on them.
But yeah, it's
that's what justice should be. It's a way of delivering catharsis to society, so that they know that evil was punished. And in this case, the evil of absolute degenerates who wrote that garbage.
Don't worry, it'll all be saved when they reintroduced Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Yeah, you heard that, right?
They should reintroduce floggings. That's what they should be done. Our society is too pussified. We somehow got the idea that leaving someone like for 6 months in jail to be raped by hardened criminals is somehow more humane than just giving like 15 lashes on them.
Let's see. Did we, oh yeah, we saw Kung Fu Panda. That was a movie that we saw. That was pretty fun.
Why do we emphasize the letters like that? Panda.
Because pandas are, they're cute,
Are you trying
but...
to pass for other nationality?
Sure. But no, pandas are, they're cute-ish. It's just that they're a useless animal. So, it's just unfortunate.
It's not their fault they're retarded.
I mean, it kind of is. I mean, if they literally decide to eat anything other than bamboo, which is not really good for their digestive system, then they'd probably be doing a lot better. They're like koalas in that respect.
Although koalas eat more eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah, but the problem with eucalyptus leaves is that it's incredibly toxic, it has no nutritional value, and the koala evolved to eat it, even though if it started eating literally anything else, it probably would have been fine.
So the koalas are basically the Europeans of animals. You know, just like Europeans style, like they insisted on drinking milk. Like after breakfast I vomited uncontrollably, but I'm gonna keep drinking this cow juice. It's nice.
I mean, that's
so
kind of like that with
like,
alcohol too, right? So
yeah, I mean, not really. But like Europeans and Africans just kept drinking milk in spite of nature. Until nature just gave up. Like, there is a theory that actually alcohol consumption is a thing that is natural to humans because one thing that happens in the wild is that a lot of apes will know that fruit is ripe and good for eating when they can smell the alcohol from fermenting inside. Fermenting on the fruit, because like when the glucose inside starts to ferment, the fruit bursts, so they can smell the fermentation and they know, that fruit is nice to eat. So you can actually see in the wilds apes acting drunk because they've eaten too much fermented fruit. Either that or it's Balkaners. It's either the ape or people from the Balkans.
Yeah, I remember that video from unironically living in Europe, where he explained that the Balkans during Muslim rule would drink just to spite Muslim rule.
Shut up, Muhammad!
And this was even though like under Muslim rule it was legal for the Muslims to like take their kids away. And they were like, you know, it's okay for you to take our children, but our alcohol, no, that's a line you don't cross.
The Balkans know what's more important to them. The Balkaners. That's dark. That's dark level. What the?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's something to do with like I thought it was like my television. To be honest, that it was like my games that I've been playing have been very dark, but I guess not, because one of the games I tried to record was Pokemon Snap, and the problem there was that it was way too fucking bright because I changed the settings to actually see what I was doing in some of these games.
Are you playing it on a tube TV?
No, flat screen.
Sorry, you're faking a fraud.
Yeah, indeed. Also, it'd be kind of hard to get a tube TV on my desk here, so...
I actually want to get a tube TV for my Super Nintendo. Well, I actually also want to get a place that I can play Super Nintendo and other video games without my cats biting.
Oh, the cords?
Yes. That happened.
I think you can
twice.
get like piping for like your wire, so it just sort of goes through that instead of so like you feed your wiring through the tubing so your cats can't screw with it, and it also keeps your wires nice and neat.
I'm not talking like for example, I had to buy a sensor bar for my Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Wii?
Yeah.
Good times. I had to buy a new sensor bar because they bit the tiny little wire.
Yeah,
From the
I don't
sensor
know why
bar.
Nintendo made that wire as thick as dental floss, but here we are.
Yeah. You know, I kind of. They still have some semblance of that with the Wii U and the Switch. You know. You know what I really miss? Like I really would like to see more shooter games with those controls. Because for that, like, that is a thing I would to see be like capped from the Wii era. Because like you play some of the. Have you ever played Sin and Punishment 2?
I have it, but I have not. So it's one of the many games I need to get off the backlog.
Oh man, that game is so good.
You know, meanwhile, I played the original Red Steel, and well, that's a game.
Red Steel 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I played the first one. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, but 2 is really good, and so is Sin and Punishment 2. That game is so good. And like so yeah, like shooter controls on the Wii were awesome. No, Metroid Prime 3.
Yeah, I did play Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, and that game is fairly. It's much easier on the Wii than it is on all the other systems.
Yeah. So I would like that kind of, at least the aiming controls from that aiming control scheme from there be a permanent stay. You know, they probably could find a way to adapt that into modern controllers.
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue that mouse controls are like that. So.
Yeah, but that's for PC. I'm talking specifically consoles.
Oh, okay. You're a console peasant. That's what it is.
Yeah. I like me buttons. I like my joysticks. and that's not because they're a phallic symbol. You know? It's just.
Oh, do you remember?
I miss
a Chad Warden?
No.
Oh, back when the Wii was released, apparently it turned out he was a troll, but it was like a pretty good troll, at least at the time, because people thought he was serious. But he was basically going on about how the PS3 was the best system ever. And this was back when the only thing we knew about the PS3 was that it cost $599 US on release.
I do not remember. I don't even know who that is. Like, who was Chad Warden? Was he just a shill?
He was a troll, but yeah, he was shilling for the PS3 about like how it was the great system ever, but he did it like he was a wannabe gangster. Some of the things that he made fun of was like how the Wii looked like a dildo, like the controller. So I don't know. It's funny in retrospect, but you can tell the mark of a good troll because he pissed people off.
Yeah, I missed that era.
Now we're in the Johnny Somali era.
Where the mark of a good troll is introducing the concept of racial hatred to an entire country. On this episode of my stream, I'm gonna teach the entire of Japan to be racist.
Yeah, it's... I really don't know what he was thinking, but I'm glad that the Korean government has done everything in their power to just fuck him over, so... Which I can't remember if we mentioned it before, but or on video, but apparently Johnny Somali is going to be getting the pretty much close to the full extent of the law, so like he's fucked.
He got the book thrown at him.
Yeah.
Do you think he at any point had any idea of what he was of the extent of like what he was doing? It was one of those situations where he is one of those people who is so stupid that the idea of consequences for behavior is something he cannot intellectually assess.
Well, that is something that I do notice with a lot of Americans, is that they're very much like, at least the streamer ones or the terminally online ones, like Johnny Somali. They seem to believe that what they're doing is just small little misdemeanors, which maybe in the States they are, but not in every country. So that's why for the longest time he thought that he was just gonna get like maybe a $500 fine and leave Korea and never return, which that might have worked for Japan because he was basically the first one to pull that shit there, but
yeah,
not for Korea.
And now Japan is learning to hate.
Yeah, you can no longer walk the streets with geishas because tourists were too much stupid assholes about it.
What happened?
Well, in Japan, there's like a special street that the geishas have to walk down to get from, like, I think their home to, like, the actual, like, theater area.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was, open to the public, or at least to, foreigners. Like, foreigners could walk through. But now they put up signs saying no foreigners allowed because, some of the American tourists did was that they would essentially assault them by treating them like they were clowns or whatever, by like yanking on their hair and shit. So because they were essentially assaulted, they no one can walk down and like enjoy the sights or whatever. It's also kind of like why no one can walk up to Stonehenge anymore, because people are retarded and don't know how to respect things.
I remember there was that event where some rich kid, some asshole rich kids decided they were gonna save the world from like from oil, and then so they tossed some paint on Stonehenge or something.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if those what was it, if that Stop the Oil group of people did that.
Just Stop Oil. That it was them. They are they are primarily made of asshole rich kids.
Yeah, which is nice to know that Europe has decided to stop taking their shit, and whenever they start doing their things, they immediately get the shit kicked out of them.
Not enough.
Yeah, not that enough, but like their common tactic is to block traffic by super gluing their hands to the pavement. And so what people have been doing is that they've just been like, all right, so they just kick them off of the side of the road and get back in their car and start driving again.
The proper behavior would be to unglue them from the road by just kicking them in the jaw.
No.
Yeah, no, you just kick them in the jaw until their hand comes off the road.
But anyway, but no, the main thing that why you can't go to Stonehenge anymore is because some stupid teenagers tagged it. So now no one can go there and enjoy it. Which it was technically open to the public for a while because there are like pagan groups who use Stonehenge as for like religious rites.
Cringe LARPing. For cringe LARPing.
Yeah, this level's pretty annoying. You fall into the acid, you just immediately die. Essentially.
Pagan groups who use Stonehenge for LARPing. That's what they do.
I mean, nobody knows what Stonehenge is for, but I mean, it might be close enough. Who knows?
Like it was like the pagans using to commute like that. Did they say they're communicating with the aliens or something?
Oh, the modern pagans?
Communicating with the spirit of the Morrigan?
They might be communicating with spirits or something, but I don't know. That's sort of the problem with Stonehenge, is that nobody, like I said, nobody knows what Stonehenge was used for. It was just sort of, it's just a circle of rocks essentially in the middle of nowhere. I think the closest that I remember people have figured out what Stonehenge was for was that the way that the wind blows through Stonehenge creates a humming effect. If you listen very closely.
Probably would mean is like if they can recreate the original design, well, someplace else, really. It'd probably be interesting to see like how that would play out.
Like, how do you mean? Like, if the effect is the same, or like if it's possible to do it?
No, if it would like how that if the sound of the wind produced would have some different, like how it would be, you know?
I'm sure the wind effect would be similar, but the thing that makes Stonehenge so interesting is that it's in the middle of an open field. Like, there's nothing around for like miles. So, but because like the druids at the time, they didn't write anything down. It's just that's
assholes.
It's all been lost to history essentially.
Yeah, that's why the druids are cringe, while the Romans were based, because the Romans wrote stuff.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all the information that we have as to how and why druids do things, is just because we have knowledge from the Romans, and unfortunately it is pretty biased because a lot of the times the Romans would write down saying, man, the way druids do things, cringe and gay, not like us Romans. Now back to my child buggering.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they did not, that they were specifically against writing their knowledge was pretty cringe and gay. So yes, the Romans were correct.
No, it's just funny that,
And Caesar did nothing wrong when he tried to, when he subjugated the Celts. But yeah.
But yeah, so I'd imagine you get the same effect from Stonehenge, that, like the wind effects kind of thing, but like I said, it's just, the fact that they put so much effort into building it where they did is what's interesting.
I imagine the sound produced would be slightly different if you had the whole thing, the whole structure.
Oh, because Stonehenge is a little bit dilapidated?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Little bit.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps, but again, it's one of those things where, people say that, oh yeah, the pyramids are impossible to build these days because
retarded people.
Our technology that we have now is not sophisticated enough to move all those blocks, and it's like, yes, it is. It took them a very fucking long time back in the day, but they did it because, well, let's face it, there wasn't anything better to do.
Retarded people who saw that information, that factoid once on Facebook and never bothered to check.
Look, man, everybody knows the pyramids were built from the top down by aliens, okay? I've learned this from spirit science.
I thought you were gonna say you learned that from Stargate.
Hey, there's Donkey Kong. Huzzah!
It would be really hilarious if Stonehenge was just like a massive troll from the druids. Like they got really high on shrooms at some point, and it says, "Yo, you know what would be rad? You know what would be lit? Let's make a circle of rocks."
This will confuse the shit out of the Romans trying to understand us.
Oh, the Romans, dude.
But yeah, so there is a bit of a trick with this endgame thing. It tries to trick you into getting into the next world immediately, and if you do that, you kind of fuck yourself. So
there is a trick to this. It's to not play it.
Yeah, so that's why I did the saving first, then go to the next world, because that's the way you want to do it, so that way you don't have to like redo Toxic Tower and all that shit again. But anyway, that's it for the video, and hopefully you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time. Have a nice night.
Bye bye.